When you woke up this morning, you had a great breakfast, that you woke up, that you got up early, that you did your workout, that you kissed your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, whatever, you had something that happened to you already today that you can feel grateful for. Welcome to this week's episode of It Takes Grit. Oh yes, I am in my new home filming outside and it feels so nice. Oh, I'm like under a nice little umbrella on a beanbag. You know, I'm sat on a beanbag for a very long time. I feel like a kid again. It feels great. So today's episode, we are talking about how to find happiness. And one of the big things of finding happiness is knowing that you are enough. So these are going to be 7 steps to knowing that you are enough and how to work on yourself enough to know that you are enough. And that's going to lead to your ultimate happiness. So we're going to get started with that in just a second, but I do have a special announcement for you. I think this could be one of the most exciting things that is happening this year. I mean, we've had so many amazing things. I mean, the team is just on fire, the Burn coaches, I mean, we have the new app coming out. It's just like, there's so many things. And we were going to do a big book tour, right? We were going to do this tour around America. And I know that lots of you were actually pretty disappointed that you couldn't make the tour because you live in a different country or you had to travel super far to get there. Well, guess what? We're going to have the tour coming to you, to your home. We're doing a live virtual event. Guys, I've been talking about this date for a while now, 12th of September. The tickets are now available. Just go to ivegotgrit.com or the link or the details are in the link below as well, and you can get access to this live event. Now, it's not just any normal live that we do. Oh no, you'll actually be able to see each other on these like 10-foot high LED screens. There's breakout sessions, there's motivation workouts. There's just, I can't even like describe what's it's going to be like. Just know that you're going to have serious FOMO if you are not there. All right, and there's only a very limited number of VIP tickets as well. So if you guys, you want to be part of history, because we are making history. This is going to be the first, virtual live event with us. Just incredible. And of course, Alfie and Penny are going to be there as well. Go and get your tickets. All right, let's do this. So back to today. How to find happiness. All right, so I'm going to go through 7 things, because 7 is my lucky number, of what I have learned over the years about finding happiness. And one thing that I do want to address just before we get started in this is when you're listening to podcasts or you're listening to blog posts, sometimes it's hard to have an open mind, right? Or to let that ego go. What I'm going to ask you or challenge you guys today is if you don't have something in your life that you currently want, it might be time to go, you know what? I'm going to think of another way of doing this. I'm going to allow my brain to receive information that maybe I wouldn't normally receive, and I'm going to listen to it with an open mind, because I always talk from experience and things that I've learned, right? And what's helped me. And so there's been times in my life where I've listened to other people. I'm like, no, that's not right. That's not going to happen. And then what I realized was that the definition of insanity was doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So what I started to do was I started to become a bit more open-minded. I started to let my ego go and say, you know what? If this person has already figured out this thing, I would be crazy not to follow them, right? So these steps that I'm giving you today, some of them you might be like, yeah, totally. Some of them I might be like, I just don't know if I can get on board with that. Well, if you are not in the position of where you want to be in life, it's time to get on board, because you need to do something different to be able to get something different. And that's really the biggest lesson that I've learned over the years, is that if I want something different, I have to do something different. For things to change, I have to change. For things to get better, I have to get better. So let's go through these 7 little steps that I have for you. So, I think the first thing is, when we're talking about happiness, is knowing that you are enough and not comparing yourself to other people, just comparing yourself to the best version of you. But how do we do that? How do we know, how do we work on ourselves that we are enough? So first thing is gratitude. You only ever see a very small part of people's lives on social media or what they talk about, and you're comparing yourself to that aspect. but think about your own life, right? Think of all the incredible things that you have in your life, right? What was it that you did when you woke up this morning? You had a great breakfast, that you woke up, that you got up early, that you did your workout, that you kissed your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your girlfriend, whatever, you had something that happened to you already today that you can feel grateful for. So write that list out every single morning of what you are grateful for, because that is going to make you smile, right? When you feel grateful for something and you write those things down, how does it make you feel? It makes you feel better. It makes you feel like, oh, I am doing something right. Oh, I have got a good life. Oh, I am happy, right? So number one, finding happiness, gratitude. I love attitude and gratitude. They're my two favorite sayings right now. Attitude and gratitude. If you have a great attitude about life and you're grateful about everything, you're going to feel incredible, right? Because you're just showing up, being positive and fun, and you're grateful for everything that is happening to you, right? If you're the other way, if you have a bad attitude, you're not grateful for anything, then no wonder that you're unhappy, right? That's where your focus is. Your focus is on all the bad things that are happening to you, all the things that you don't have, and therefore that you are not going to find that happiness. So, number two, and I learned this one last year, and it really resonated with me. Progress equals happiness. Yes, when we are progressing at something, when we are getting results, when we're improving our plank time, we are, moving our business along, or when there's something that's happening, we're feeling happy because we're in motion. When we get what I call, we stopped, not stuck, right? When you've stopped, you don't feel happy because you feel stuck and you feel frustrated and you feel irritated. So when we say that getting motivated comes from taking action, that's exactly true, because that action gets you motivated. The motivation then makes you keep on going, and that is what drives your happiness, right? When you're not motivated, how do you feel? Do you feel happy? No, you don't feel happy at all. When you feel happy and motivated, you want to do more, but that's got to come from the action, first of all, taking that first step and not just stopping. So any progress is going to create happiness because you are taking what? You're taking action. And what does action do? It gets you motivated. How do you feel when you feel motivated? You feel happy, you feel excited, you feel ready to go, right? And then you do more, and it's that incredible circle. But also the circle can go the other way. If you don't take any action, you don't feel motivated. If you don't feel motivated, you don't feel very happy. And if you don't feel very happy, you don't take much action, all right? So your attitude is everything. Attitude, taking action, motivation, it's going to keep that happiness going alive. So every step is going to count, and we're either dying or we're growing. That's why progress equals happiness, because if you are not progressing, or if you're not, growing or doing something new or learning new skills or developing your relationship or showing up for yourself, right? You're dying. And dying doesn't make you feel very happy. And without vision, we perish. Yes, without vision, we perish. So if you don't have that vision for your future and the progress that you want to create, you are going to feel unhappy because, right, you don't have that vision. You're perishing, you're dying. Get emotionally connected to what it is that you want. So this comes into progress, manifesting, visualization. When I visualize something so much and I manifest it and I think about it and I close my eyes, or I'm listening to music and I'm imagining that happening, it makes me feel so connected to that goal that the thought of moving away from that goal is way more painful than actually me getting up one more time and going for it again, because I am emotionally connected to it and that burning desire is inside of me to keep on going. So manifest things, manifest the progress, manifest the goal happening at the end, right? Because that's what's going to get you emotionally connected. And when those times feel like it's difficult, that you just don't want to keep getting up again, you don't want to show up, boom, you're going to show up, because the pain of not showing up and reaching that goal is greater than you not achieving it, right? Because you are emotionally connected, and that feeling inside of you is going to keep you pushing forward. All right, number 3, do not give up on yourself. As soon as you give up on yourself, you're going to feel unhappy. I mean, that's just common sense. Half of this stuff, guys, is common sense. I mean, it really is. If you break it down, you're like, oh yeah, duh, obviously, right? If you give up on yourself, if you have a victim mentality, if you go, poor me, it's not working for me, this is too difficult, this is too hard, and you're saying all these words to yourself about how bad it is, yeah, no shit, Sherlock, you are going to feel unhappy. But if you change that mindset and you say, you know what, no problem, I'm going to show up, I'm going to make this happen until I do, and it doesn't matter how long it takes me, I'm just going to keep on going. You have that great attitude, and you're grateful for every single day that you're alive. Boom, you're going to make the progress, which is going to cause happiness, right? And you are going to have the right attitude that's going to keep you feeling alive. If you give up on yourself, like what happens? Your shoulders go down, you feel sorry for yourself. Like, yeah, it's gonna be tough, right? If you quit, remember, you can't fail unless you quit. All right, so just keep getting up. Number 4, don't label yourself. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just one of those people that I'm just not a morning person. All right, I'm just one of those types of people that, needs to have this kind of food, or I need to have this, or I need to have that. If all those things, if you were on a desert island and all of those things are stripped away from you, your favorite food, the gym, or, your favorite, whatever it was, all your things that you say that you need, if you're on a desert island and you have 2 options. 1, you have to find an alternative way to deal with the fact that you don't have what you had before. Or number 2, you feel sorry for yourself and you say, you know what, yeah, it's just, I have to need it. What's going to happen? You're going to feel unhappy. So if you really did strip all those things away that you keep saying that you need, right? If you were literally on a desert island, think about this. If you were on a desert island right now and all these things that you say that you needed, you actually do not have, and you have 2 options. Are you the type of person that's going to adapt and say, you know what, I don't have these things, but I'm going to adapt, I'm going to change, I'm going to figure out the way? Or are you going to be the type of person that goes, yeah, you know what, I guess it's just my life done now. I'm over. And that's what's happened to people in this year, right, too. I've spoken to lots of people over the last couple of weeks about their experience with COVID. And some people have said, yeah, I've just been really bored and it's just been really difficult. And some people have said, you know what? Initially it was tough, but I decided that I'm going to use this as an opportunity to do something new or try a new skill or learn something, right? That's the 2 type of people that you get. So what type of person would you be if you're on a desert island, right? Are you going to label yourself that you need this and you need that and this will happen? No, you'd have to adapt to create that happiness so that you could survive, right? Are you going to thrive or are you going to survive? So don't label yourself something, because you're going to keep negatively giving yourself that, and some people say, oh, I wish I didn't have to do this. I wish I wasn't, had this. I wish I didn't have to do this, right? Great. Wish it, don't wish it, work on it. Work that you didn't have to do that anymore, because if you're on a desert island, you have those 2 choices. Which one is it going to be? All right. Number 5, relying on somebody else for your happiness. Yeah, not going to happen. Thinking that you need somebody to be happy as well. Thinking that you have to be in a relationship to be happy. No, because those expectations that you have of other people, they might not live up to your expectations. So trade your expectations for appreciations. And when you appreciate the things that people do, you're not going to be disappointed, right? Because you're just constantly appreciating and you're grateful for the things that they do, rather than constantly going, oh, well, they didn't do this and they didn't do that. You have the appreciation rather than the expectation, okay? And finding validation in somebody else that you are good enough is never going to be enough, because you know what, let's face it, that person might leave, and then if they leave and you don't feel like you're good enough inside, how are you going to feel then? You're going to feel even worse, because there is no, there's no like definite that someone's going to stay with you. Like whatever, right? Whatever could happen to them. It could be an accident. They could just leave you. You don't know, right? But if you're constantly relying on that person for, gratification and satisfaction and, like assuring you that you are good enough, then that is a dangerous place to put yourself in, and you want to have that from your own inside. All right, number 6, be around people that lift you up. So we don't want to find happiness within somebody, right? We don't find happiness from somebody. We don't feel good enough because of what somebody else tells us or doesn't tell us, right? And we also want to be around people that are excited about life. Okay, if you are with people that complain about the weather, complain about the traffic, complain like life's not great and this isn't good and blah, 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 guess what? You are going to be basically a product of that environment. You are going to be around those people. And honestly, it's better to be on your own than it is with people that have this, negative mindset. I had to leave all of my friends and all my friends at the time because they just weren't, they just weren't the energy that I wanted. And I'm very careful nowadays with who I spend my energy with, who I give time and energy to, who I give focus to, because my time is sacred. Your time is sacred, right? Hold on to that. Protect your energy. Protect who you are. Protect all of the, the positivity and the atmosphere that you give out, because if those people around you are constantly taking it away from you, what is going to happen is you're going to sink down. And instead of being elevated and becoming the best version of yourself, you're just going to have energy sucked out of you. So I'm really, very picky with who I spend my time with and where I put my energy, because I want to make sure that, I can keep my cup feeling full, and that's going to be around my environment. So, if you're in a group of friends right now that, are not lifting each other up, and they're not getting the same goals of you, and they're not excited about life, like, hey, find some new people, right? Because if you are surrounded by those people all the time, they are unhappy, you're going to feel unhappy as well. No matter how hard you try to be that inspiration, to be that light, if you keep putting yourself in that environment, what is going to happen is they are ultimately going to suck the energy and the life out of you. And the last thing, number 7, all right? If you want some happiness, if you're feeling a bit sad, if you're not sure about life, just give back. We've talked about this before, but if you're feeling sorry for yourself, give to somebody else. If you're, just feeling a bit sad or whatever, just give back to somebody else, whatever it is. Write somebody a nice letter, make a nice post about somebody, send somebody some flowers, send somebody some chocolate-covered strawberries, like whatever it is, do something that is going to make you feel good because you are giving to somebody else. And in those states, you're going to feel happy, right? Who doesn't feel happy when they give to somebody else? Who doesn't have a warm sensation inside themselves when they surprise somebody or they give somebody something, right, that they don't have, or they just send them a nice message? How does that make that person feel, and how does it make you feel as well? So create that happiness. So if you're going around and you're not giving to other people and you're not spreading light and you're not lifting people up, you are going to feel unhappy. And you're also not going to feel good enough, because you feel good when you give back to other people, right? It makes you feel good. It makes you feel worthy. It makes you feel important. It makes you, feel like you're actually contributing and adding value. So I hope some of these tips helped. Let's just recap, okay? So finding happiness starts with knowing that you are good enough. And how can you keep installing that you are good enough? Have gratitude. Progress equals happiness. Don't give up on yourself. Don't label yourself. Don't find happiness from somebody else. Be around people who lift you up, and give back. And I want you right now to look at those 7 things and give yourself a score, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10, and then you're going to be able to focus on, hey, where can this energy, where do I need to put a bit of energy to create more happiness in my life? Where can I look at that I can change a few things that are going to make a difference? And I'm telling you that when you do this exercise, you'll know exactly where to level up your happiness. You'll know exactly where things may be falling right now. But if you don't do that exercise, you don't mark it 1 out of 10, right? 10 being the best, you're not going to know where you're at right now, and you're not going to have a plan of where you want to go in the future. So boom. Guys, I'm excited for the rest of 2020. We're adapting, we're changing, we're growing, we're working together as a unit. I can't wait to see your faces there on the 12th of September. Make sure you get your ticket. It's a very limited number of the VIP. Just go to I'veGotGrit.com and we will see you there, guys. Thank you for listening. Make sure you take a little screenshot of yourself watching or listening to this podcast and tag It Takes Grit Podcast on Instagram and be rebecca-louise fitness, so that I can give you a high five, a shout out, and tell you well done for working on yourself. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah. What's worse, the fear or the FOMO? Because when you're on your deathbed, I'm going to get a little bit morbid here, what are you going to be more pissed off at?